Hello, my name is Darcy Johnson and this is my snapshot study video looking at New Zealand grazing management, what the UK can learn, with many thanks to the Farmers Club Charitable Trust for supporting me.
Now, in the UK, we take feed to our livestock, but in New Zealand, they take livestock to the feed. After 6 months working across both islands, one thing stood out to me. Not just how well they grow grass in New Zealand, but how well they manage it. Across New Zealand, grazing is built on control. On the dairy farms I visited in mid-Canterbury, cattle were moved multiple times a day, sometimes 3 or 4 breaks in just 24 hours. At farms like Muckram, which were bull beef, and Leylands, which was an 1,100 cow dairy farm, temporary fencing wasn't just a tool, it was the system. Back fencing, although more labour intensive, protected regrowth, allowing grass to recover faster and stronger. The result? Hard, even grazings and pretty much zero waste. But the biggest mindset shift that I saw was in New Zealand they weren't livestock farmers, they were grass farmers. At CJ Grazing near Geraldine, decisions were driven by the grass wedge, measuring dry matter, calculating demand, and allocating the feed precisely through breaks and paddocks. But that level of structure wasn't the same everywhere. On Trevor Humphrey's farm in Southland, grazing was far more flexible, with fewer fences and less rigid rotations. His stock was used strategically, with lambs taking the highest quality grass and ewes following up behind. It was a less strict system and more about reading what was in front of him, but the principle was the same. Grass wasn't guessed, it was managed. Technology is now taking grazing control to another level, and virtual fencing systems like Halter were transforming how farmers in New Zealand managed grass, removing not the entire need for physical fences, but certainly removing some. From a phone, farmers can draw fences and draw paddocks, set break timings, and move stock automatically throughout the day, allowing for more frequent and precise grazing and making practices like fencing far easier to implement. The results are better regrowth, improved utilisation, and ultimately more grass grown per hectare. But it comes at a cost. To justify it, farmers estimate that they need to grow around 2 extra tonnes of dry matter per hectare each year. So the question isn't just can it work, but can it pay? And is it realistic to implement it on small farms in the UK? Not every farm follows the same system, and that's where some of the most valuable lessons I learned were. At Hawke's Bay, Mangaraara Station grazing looks completely different. High-density mob grazing is used for short periods, not just to feed livestock, but to trample grass into the soil, protect moisture, and build resilience through dry summers. The system also integrates silvopasture, combining trees, pasture, and livestock, improving shelter, biodiversity, and long-term productivity. It's a regenerative approach, simple in principle, but from what I could see, incredibly effective.
I think my biggest take-home message is that if the UK is really serious about improving efficiency in production, it's not just going to come from pumping more inputs. It's going to come from better grazing. Thank you.